I didn't want to go to that camp, but my mother forced me and I came back with a broken heart and one completely useless skill. Making chevron bracelets from embroidery floss. And today, I'm going to teach you how to make those bracelets. They look like this and they're pretty cool. Okay, so what you're gonna need here is one safety pin and 4 different colors of embroidery floss. You can use same color, at least 2 different colors, but it looks better if you use more because it's like fancy schmancy crazy. I'm using here 6. You can see me wrapping every color of my embroidery floss around my wrist, but that's not the smartest way to do it. To save time, you can just unroll as much embroidery floss as the first piece you wrapped around your wrist. Not only will you save time, but all the colors will end up the same length too, which, as you will see later, will be a problem in my case. Now, I need you to use the safety pin or a piece of tape. I recommend safety pin. It's more reliable than a tape. Okay, this is very simple. I don't think you need any verbal instruction to do it. It doesn't really matter in what order your threads will be. The only thing that matters here is to make 2 colors on the opposite sides, just like on the picture here. There are 2 teams, Team 1 and Team 2, and first we are focusing on Team 1. Now, take the first 2 threads from the left side and make the first knot, which involves crossing the first thread over the second one, basically the same knot you make when you tie your shoes. The first knot before you make the bow. If you don't know how to tie your shoes, I think it's time to learn how to do it. Then make the exact same knot again. Third color, and do the exact same thing as you did with the second one. Cross the leftmost thread over the pink one twice. Repeat this with every other color in the same team. And the first knot, like the first color of knots, the first line, like the first thread you will like knot over all the colors here, it will look weird and it will look awkward. Don't worry about it. It looks exactly how it's supposed to look. If it looks like mine, it's fine. If it doesn't look like mine, you have a problem. You did something wrong. Okay, now it's time to sort your threads a little bit and do everything all over again. Okay, so I recorded the full process of making this bracelet, but I'm actually going to tell you a story where I actually learned to do those bracelets, because it's kind of weird, but I think kind of eye-opening, at least for me. So I think it's time for story time! My plan for summer 2016 was to lock myself in my room for 2 months and not leave it until I got back to school. And just play my guitar. It was a perfect plan. Then I dropped my guitar and neck completely shattered. I was devastated. It was a part of my heart, this guitar. And I was 13, broke. And since my guitar was my entire personality, my mom watched me mope for exactly 1 day before she made me a deal to go to the camp she mentioned before, and I didn't want to go there. And when I would get back, she promised me to buy a new guitar. I mean, I couldn't say no. So I packed my stuff and I'm on my way to camp. I pull up and immediately see this girl helping girls get settled. Blonde, striking blue eyes, probably like she was like 20 years old. Her name was Julie, and she was my CIT. I decided right away I was going to be obsessed with her for the entire summer. But I wasn't delusional. I knew she would never look at me the way I look at her, which is absolutely appropriate since she was 20 and I was 13. But I had a plan. I decided to befriend her sister, who just happened to be my roommate. Oh my god, it was a blessing. Johnny was amazing, actually. She was very open minded, she was very curious, she was extroverted, she was optimistic. And first thing she actually did was to teach me how to make those bracelets from embroidery floss. And you know, it actually takes a lot to make a bracelet like this because it's like 2 or 3 hours if you're not skilled. So this was a perfect time to ask Joni things about her sister. And this is when I learned Julie had a boyfriend. His name was Jack. He was 23 years old, handsome, allegedly. And Julie was absolutely obsessed with him. How do I know? He actually visited her at work. And yeah, it was heartbreaking to see her like this. But that was the moment where I let her go, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I have a shot. You know, I was kind of mad because I didn't want to see her like this. So I would like make those bracelets to feel better, and Johnny would come over on my bench and she would like tell me stories about her dog. She was a little bit older than me. I was 13, she was like 15. So maybe that's why I like older women now. Anyway, me and Johnny became really good friends. We would sit there for 2 or 3 hours making chevron bracelets, just talking about everything. And she became really touchy and playful in a way that would have been weird with anyone else, you know? But it felt just natural with her, and that was new for me. Then week 2 happened and things got messy. They split us into groups. Johnny ended up with some loud kid. She started flirting with a boy from another group, visibly right in front of me, and I felt something shift I didn't expect. It wasn't just jealousy about my friend's attention. No. It wasn't that. I had friends before, and it was different. I didn't feel that way about my other friends. Like, for example, my friend Adam, who was also in that camp, and we spent time with other people. I spent time with other people, with him and with her, and like in a group it wasn't the same. But when Johnny did it, when she was playing with another kid, something in my chest just tightened, and I didn't like it. So I did what she was doing. I got loud and playful with Adam in that exaggerated performative way 13 years old do. And he went along with it because he clearly liked me. He had a mild crush on me, and I absolutely... that was obvious. I knew that. And I liked it, actually, because, like, what 13 years old doesn't like attention? It's nice. And it worked. Johnny got clingy, started asking if we were dating, like me and Adam, teasing me about kissing him. And we were suddenly in this exhausting circle of jealousy, and it was ridiculous when I think about it now, but back then I was like, you bitch, you're not going to treat me like this. And I really wanted to, like, make her jealous, and it kind of worked. But then something shifted again. The jealousy games just faded. Probably we got bored and boys stopped paying attention to us. They were like, they were just playing their own games. And there was this moment where we were making bracelets. We were talking about some random stuff like girls do. And she touched my hand, and it felt different. I never felt like this before. She looked at me into my eyes, and it felt different. It was like I felt like I was hypnotized. And that's actually what feels when you are looking into eyes of someone you actually like. It's different. It's really different. We never talked about this. Officially, we haven't discussed what it was. So technically, I don't know if it was officially anything romantic, but from my perspective, it was, because later I had those feelings for other people, and so now I know it was romantic. But at that time, I didn't know it was romantic. I didn't know this is how you feel when you actually like someone. I didn't know I like girls. Anyway, we went back to making bracelets. Like, sitting there for hours, our hands busy, like two old ladies with crockhead talking about everything. And then when it hit me, the camp was ending. It was the third week, and in 3 days we would be back home. The whole thing would just become a memory of summer 2016. Johnny and I were spending more time together than usual because we both knew we would probably never see each other again. We didn't make any plans or anything. We just, existed together. We went being present with each other. Then Johnny was like, "Why don't you give me your phone number? Maybe we could stay in touch after camp ends." And here's the thing, I wasn't very, into social media person when I was 13. I actually got addicted to it at the age of 16, and that's a different story. But the only thing I had at that time was my phone number, and that was very considerate of her that she offered me to take my phone number instead of forcing me to start all those social media like other kids, like, "Oh, you don't have Instagram," and "Oh, I'm sorry, and I think we will not be friends." Things like this were happening all the time. But she offered that maybe we could stay in touch after camp ends, and I was like, "Yeah, that's actually great." I gave her my number. The final hug was really tight. Actually, even Julie hugged me, and technically I got more attention from Julie because of how close I was with Johnny, so technically my plan worked. Maybe not exactly how I planned, but it kind of worked, so that was a good part. But yeah, I got a hug from her too. She smelled like flowers. Johnny hugged me super tight, and she said we would keep in touch, that she would text me when we got home. And we got home, and she texted me actually. She texted me, and we were texting for about 2 to 3 weeks after camp ended. And then we got to school and just, stopped. That was it. Our friendship faded away very naturally, very organically. I didn't feel bad about it. I was like, yeah, that's actually good. That was normal. Because I've never been a big fan of this long distance friendships or relationships or whatever. I'm totally not into that. It became just this memory of what it used to be. But here's the thing, why I'm even telling this story. A few weeks ago, I went to a party. And guess who was there? Johnny! After all those years, we actually ran into each other again. We talked a bit, and it became pretty clear that it was mutual. That the feeling, the romantic stuff, it was actually mutual. I'm actually glad I saw her because there was so much imagining of what it could have happened if we would stay in touch, if we stayed friends, or maybe something more. I always wondered. So now I know we would never work out. This would never work out. She was a fucking crackhead. She was crazy back then, but now her brain is totally cooked. It's fried. It's crazy actually, but Julie's doing great though. She got married, she has a baby boy. Life went on for everyone. These bracelets I'm making in this video today, they're a reminder that if something didn't work back then, it wouldn't work right now. And if something didn't happen back then, there is no such a thing as good people and bad time. There is no such a thing as the right person. There is no such thing as the right person and wrong time. If it's the wrong time, it's the wrong person, period. If it was the right person, it would be the right time, no matter what. But I know this now. I didn't know that back then because I was a fucking kid. Now I'm a little bit bigger kid, a little bit older kid, because I'm only 23, so I'm still a kid. I don't know shit. But at least I know that there is no such a thing as right person and wrong time. So those bracelets are actually incredibly important to me because every time I look at them, they remind me that things in your mind always look different than they are in reality. And that's actually okay, because like you don't know what life will look like and what things that you are imagining will actually turn out if you actually do it. Same thing about YouTube. For example, I thought I'm going to love making videos. I was like, oh my god, I will be making videos and it will be super exciting. I will have fun and all those stuff. And when I actually started doing those videos, I was like, holy fucking shit, I hate it. I hate doing videos. I hate making videos. And I had a huge existential crisis because of that. Because I spend a lot of money on equipment to make videos and to become a content creator, and it turns out that I fucking hate it. So yeah, pro tip from me: if you're thinking about content creation, don't buy expensive stuff ever. Never. Do it with whatever you have right now. But there is a positive thing, because every time you do something you don't like, it gets you closer to things, to learn what you actually like. And this is how I realized that I like fashion, that I'm actually more into fashion than into anything. And I wanted to make money just so I would have more time to learn how to actually create my own clothes. So I was like, damn, why do I even have to wait? Why can't I just focus primarily on making clothes and learning everything right now and just posting it on YouTube? Why not? I mean, I already have the camera and the microphone and all those stuff. Why not to do it? So that's basically what I'm doing. And that's actually funny that those bracelets are the thing that are actually my first video on it. So yeah, that's it. Actually, that's the end of the story.